You felt it, a pressure in the air, like something is forcing the world in a direction that no one wants to go. Headlines contradict themselves. Platforms predict your choices. Rules change overnight. Some call it conspiracy. Some call it incompetence. Some say the elites are pulling the strings. But what if the real answer is even stranger? What if there is something steering things, and it isn't human at all? You're not imagining the coordination, or the timing, or the pressure, or the sense that the world that you grew up in is gone. People describe it in the same way. Something bigger is directing everything. It feels scripted, like our world is being rewritten in real time. But this is the unsettling part. These same sentiments appear in ancient writings from history's collapsing empires. Letters from the Bronze Age, Roman diaries, Maya inscriptions, Europe before the 1600s reset. Different cultures, different eras, same emotional signature. The sense that something larger is moving the pieces. Now we blame them, the shadow cabal, the invisible hands of the controllers. But the ancients weren't being naive. They were describing a pattern, the same pattern we're living in right now. But what if the pattern is real, and it's the story we tell ourselves that's wrong? We went from roaming the land for over 200,000 years of our existence to full-blown metropolis in only 5,000 years. And this is remarkable because it's against the odds. But what's really odd is that the largest ancient civilizations tell the same story of how they began. When you map every civilization, it doesn't look like a machine. It looks like a life cycle. Consume, grow, shed, move, begin again, over and over. Predictable, relentless, and now it's global. It behaves too consistently to be random, too patterned to be coincidence. It's not alive, but it's not alive. Billions of humans' actions create patterns, and patterns reinforce behavior. Behavior strengthens the organism. And this loop activates so quickly and so globally that it feels intentional. That's why every era seems like something is steering it. Ancient gods or modern cabals. But the truth lives in the uncanny middle. It's not conscious, but it behaves like it has instincts. Across the ancient world, the stories are the same. A being arrives from nowhere. It brings civilization to humans. It demands labor. It grows. It moves on. To the ancients, it had many faces. A serpent, a sky god, a world maker. The names change, but the behavior doesn't. In the world's oldest civilization, laws, tools, and social roles supposedly descended from above, all at once. Not gradually, not invented. It was delivered. Society reorganized overnight, and to them, only a being could do that. Egypt's serpent, Apophis, wasn't just a monster. It was a symbol for periods when order collapses, cities empty, systems fail, and the elites vanish. And these collapses arrive suddenly, exactly like a serpent striking. A towering figure who appears at the end of cycles, reorganizes the world, and disappears into the sea. He doesn't rule, he resets. Show up, rewrite humanity, and exit. Not superstition, this was observation. Ancient people weren't imagining things. They were documenting a force that arrives, shapes their world, consumes resources, collapses, and reboots somewhere else. Every civilization has witnessed it. Every civilization gave it a name. If ancient peoples felt a force shaping their world, we're feeling the same thing. It just has a different skin. Today, it feeds on data, not stored grains, on attention, not tribute, on predictable behavior, not forced labor, on technology that influences instantly. Now, cultural shifts can happen in days. Collective beliefs reconfigure rapidly. Opinions synchronize across continents. The world can pivot in a moment. No empire has ever had this reach, but the pattern is identical. The serpent doesn't vanish, it evolves. We can see our world changing so fast, values flipping, norms collapsing, institutions breaking down, and our brain wants to imagine a puppeteer. Ancient people thought gods, modern people think elites. But the reality of it may sit in the middle. Civilizations aren't conscious, but its behavior mimics an organism. It isn't pre planned, but its cycles are unmistakably patterned. The trick here isn't that nothing is behind the curtain. It's that what is behind the curtain is not what our mind expects. It's a shadow organism built by human behaviors, operating on instinct and following cycles older than history. You're not powerless in this, and we are part of an ancient process. But seeing the mechanism clarifies this. And once you recognize the pattern, you stop fearing invisible masterminds. You stop imagining puppeteers. You stop mistaking pressure for conspiracy. And you see the organism for what it is and what it's not. It's a pattern, a cycle, a shadow built by humans. And once you see the trick, it can no longer influence you to respond to its pressure. You're watching it from above. Civilization doesn't cast the spell.